Welcome to the Maggie B Show. I'm your host, Maggie Barato, and I'm passionate about hearing God's voice and seeing His Spirit at work. How many of you know that you were not your own idea, that you were God's idea, that He already designed a purpose and a plan for your life before you were even born? Figure out, what is our calling? What is our purpose? I mean, that's what many people are trying to figure out, why they're on planet Earth, right? But when we come into relationship with God, it's the first step, because when we get connected to the one who designed and created us, the more we get to know Him, the more we get to know what He has designed and created us for. And that is when we start discovering the purpose and unique calling on our lives. I'll never forget, I was being interviewed on this television show several years back. And, when they were sort of coaching me before the cameras were on, they were letting me know sort of what the questions were going to be. And so I had it all sorted out in my mind how I was going to answer. And so I was pretty nervous. So when the cameras were on and we went live, the one interviewer asked me a question, and he said, "So Maggie, what's your favorite thing about the ministry and what you're doing?" And all I'm thinking to myself is, that's not the right question, because it wasn't a question that was on the agenda. And so it took me a few minutes, and I answered him. And what came out of my mouth was, my favorite thing about the ministry that I do is, it wasn't my idea. It was God's idea. And in that moment, I'm listening to myself say this, and it's true. That is my favorite thing about what I do. It's not my idea. It was God's idea. See, when you are doing things that God has not called you to, they become hard. You end up striving, and it's kind of like, God, I'm doing this thing and I want you to bless it. But see, if you're doing something that God has called you to do, and He's called you to it, there's a rest in it, because it's already blessed. And that if He called you to it, He's going to give you everything you need to accomplish it and to bear fruit. So I want to encourage you today. You weren't your own idea. The call and the plan on your life, it's actually it's God's plan. It's His idea. So when we submit and align to the heart of the Father, to Jesus, and we start to get revelation on who He is, that's when we start getting revelation on who we are, because our identity is hinged on His identity. The more we get to know who Jesus Christ is, the more we're going to have revelation on our purpose and who He's called us to be. See, God has given you the personality, the giftings, the abilities. He's already put them within you. You didn't get to choose them. You just get to discover them and begin to walk them out. And that is the beauty of just submitting and yielding to the Lord, is because He starts to reveal those things that He's placed on the inside of you. And you begin to really come into alignment with the plan and the purpose that God has for your life. And so I bless you to come into alignment and agreement with the Father heart of God. He wants to reveal the plans and the purpose that He has for your life. Bless you. Thank you for listening to the Maggie B Show. Subscribe so you can tune into the next episode as we focus our eyes to look at what God is doing.